Hey, what's up guys, my name is Charlie. Today we're going to be doing some more requested reaction videos, and this video is requested by George Ortiz, and it's going to be Johnny versus Eco the Dolphin, or Echo the Dolphin. Don't know how to pronounce that one. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be very fascinating, so yeah, let's check out the video, shall we? Let's go. Echo, Ekuku?
Dear Johnny, please accept this donation as a token of my appreciation. I told you there was one more game for you to play, and now that everyone's watching, you can't say no.
Damn. Is it bad?
No,
Is it good?
You don't want to disappoint your subscribers now, do you? It's time for you to relive your ultimate childhood fear. Once again, Johnny, best of luck.
It's like the jigsaw.
I know. Why
From
on
Saw
earth would I fear something as innocent looking as...
Yeah, is it a bad
Dolphin?
game or a good game?
You'll have to forgive me if my memory is a little hazy on this. Let's go back to, I want to say, 1994, I think. I was always willing to try something new out, and Ecco the Dolphin would soon be brought to my attention. I thought, hey, I love this Sonic the Hedgehog, let me try this Ecco the Dolphin.
And so the game begun. I was a dolphin swimming around with my buddies. I could communicate with them, and some would offer good advice while others would serve as the basis for Jaden Smith's Twitter account. One of them asked me how high I could jump into the sky, so because I thought it was a mission or something like that, I revved up, launched high into the...
What the fuck?
Then and there, my 7-year-old self received the biggest shock of his life. It was so sudden. I was just swimming with my two blue crew. What the fuck?
What
But
the
that was
fuck
only
just
the start of
happened?
it. This music was not fucking helping. You like that Genesis twang? Ecco the Dolphin was the fucking poster boy for that type of composition. I'm sure a foreboding atmosphere was a major
What's
element
with
they
the
were trying
blood
to achieve,
rocks and mountains
mission
and
accomplished.
shit,
I was
sky.
now nervous, but about what? I just started the damn game. I continued on, and that's when things started getting dark. I mean, the water would grow darker shades of blue the further I went deeper, and I had to go deeper to get by. Then suddenly, wham! Fucking crabs! Wham! Fucking pufferfish! Holy
Pufferfish.
shit, what is that? Why is Echo making these
Squid
horrible
testicle,
noises
what
when he
the
gets
fuck is
hurt?
that? This game is fucking
God,
possessed.
stop! That's it, I was done. Back to Sonic 2. It was
Okay.
nearly traumatizing, and the damage was
Yeah,
done.
this
Echo the
is
Dolphin made me
bizarre.
fear large underwater areas in any video game that had them. It
don't
brought
blame ya.
out and accentuated that primal fear of the unknown. It made me aquaphobic in video games, and please tell me I'm not the only one here. I was used to the happy-go-lucky themes of many franchises beforehand, and then here comes this asshole to give me my 3 a.m. cynical wake-up call.
Yeah,
Fuck you,
this is
Echo!
fucked up.
God, look at me.
It looks
20 years
possessed.
later, and I'm still anxious about this sort of shit. You know, people go on and say how Resident Evil or Silent Hill evacuated their bowels, and I'm talking about a dolphin
Resident
with
Evil,
stars on
Silent
its
Hill
head.
are incredible
Yeah, that's how
horror
you know you're
games.
special.
They scared the
Fucking
shit out of me.
stars. Son of a bitch. The marathon was going so smoothly too, now I gotta fucking put a... fucking put it in.
So is it a bad game or just a scary game? Like a
They
bad
come out
scary
of
game?
fucking nowhere most of the time, and they could bypass walls to give them shortcuts to Echo's vital organs. I'm aware I should probably take my time and swim slowly through these tight passageways, but Echo can't stay underwater for too long. He has an air meter, which I can only replenish by jumping out of
course.
the water or locating air pockets, or maybe every once in a while find a stream of air bubbles. So excuse me if I want to quickly swim through these gauntlets of torture to keep myself alive. Rarely do I attempt to fight these creatures of the deep because Echo's default attack isn't what I would call accurate. It's a charge. You can use it to speed up or tackle whatever's in front of you, and though it has slight homing properties, it means nothing when your target is tiny and quick, or there's a group of these assholes trying to rupture your blowhole all at once.
That's
Frankly, I
fucked
thought the
up.
sonar was an attack when I first played it. I mean,
Blowhole.
come on, look at it. That should be a projectile. Instead, it's used to communicate with things. They could have sold me on an ocean shooter, you know, like Gradius, only underwater, and Vic Viper is a dolphin. I am a magical
Sounds good,
dolphin. I
actually.
have fucking stars on my head. Give me a sonar that wipes things out. Then it turns out later on you can get something like that, but it requires you to press the charge button slightly before hitting the sonar button, so you can't really move fast, shoot, and be accurate at the same time.
I don't know
now
if
I'm
this
fucking
is a
annoyed.
bad
That
game. It
sound may
just
have been
looks...
soul-wrenching to my 7-year-old self, but nowadays that shit's ear-grating. Hold it in, Echo. You're losing precious air. A handful of these stages overstay their welcome, making you rescue lost creatures. Why isn't this orca whale the hero? It looks more capable than I do.
I need to see
Exiting
more of the
levels
game
usually
before I say
requires
it's
Echo
bad.
to locate a
I
key
wanna
glyph
know
and then
more.
find the corresponding door glyph to unlock and move on. It's a bit annoying when you spend a longer than normal time exploring and you find a glyph only for it to be the door glyph
It's like
first,
the Wizard
which
of
means you didn't
Oz,
find the key glyph first, which means you
underwater.
pretty much wasted your time. You have a map, but it's kind of cramped for my liking. It doesn't give me enough to work
What
with when
the
finding a
fuck is
correct
that
route,
map?
and only serves to locate air
That's
pockets for when I
bizarre.
need them. Anytime I have to escort these spiky things to break these boulders that Echo can't bust with his nose, I'm cringing. Here, they want me to escort a group with them with a limited air supply while slowly passing by a giant octopus.
Yeah,
Fucking
that's fucked up.
Oh, what? I did not speed up! Playing this on the Genesis is painful. There are no checkpoints. The frustrations of trial and error will follow you even until the end of the stage until that screen fades to black. Echo is so loose, he turns so awkwardly, and they want me to do precise things like maneuvering blocks to break barriers or, God forbid, passing through crushing ice cubes and stones. If so much as Echo's tail fin gets pinched, he dies, and I'm starting over. Oh man, but that doesn't even compare to how much I hate,
worse than Silver Surfer.
hate jumping over shit in this game. Acquiring the right amount of speed and launching at a correct angle to jump over hills, or in this level's case, making these sort of jumps over and over again because fuck it, we made this level on a Sunday. City of Forever is appropriate, as well as the passwords that also often spell out the words that come out of my mouth when I'm furious. Right, I guess I didn't really explain what's going on here. Echo's family and friends are suddenly whisked away after this sudden storm, and Echo wants to know what happened to them. So he consults the big blue whale, who tells him to consult the asteroid, this giant DNA strand. The asteroid tells Echo that if he wants his assistance, he must travel to Atlantis, use its time machine, and travel 65 million years into the past to retrieve a missing part of the asteroid's body. You reach Atlantis, and through these glyphs, you find out that your family was actually abducted by aliens, the Vortex, and that every 500 years they come to Earth to harvest the seed to keep themselves alive. What kind of game am I playing here? Anyway, you find the time machine, and you end up in the Jurassic era, home to these giant seahorses and these godforsaken trilobites that never let up. I'm glad you're extinct! I see this pteranodon, and I can't help but think it's being carried by strings, like a stage prop.
Yeah.
You find the past version of the asteroid who attacks you because let's just continue to shit on Echo's day. You get the globe, you bring it back to the future asteroid who gives you infinite air and a powered up sonar, which is a lovely gift, but we're already near the end of the game, so it doesn't really matter. You travel back in time to the point when your family was abducted, only now you go along with them, and you end up in an alien spacecraft. What the fuck? These alien levels suck. What? Yes, it doesn't take long to get past the tube. It's just a matter of positioning Echo and sonaring every living thing
Dolphins on alien ships.
But then there's Welcome to the Machine, evidently a reference to the Pink Floyd song. What a random thing to do. I mean, it sort of makes sense. A 5-minute long auto-scroller, which in this game means brutal, crushing defeat over and over again until you memorize the entire fucking stage. And you're gonna die, because there's not a chance in hell you'll know where you need to position Echo as the stage slowly informs you that you made the wrong choice, buddy. After all of this, you face against the final boss, the Vortex. Holy shit, man, look at that thing! If I made it to this point when I was younger, this is where I would shit my pants.
Yeah, that's fucking scarring.
You gotta be shitting me. If I lose to the Vortex Queen, I gotta do the 5-minute auto-scrolling machine level again? Just to get another chance at this dolphin-stealing douchebag? Get away from my family, you bitch! Depth sonar to the eyes! Yeah, knocked your jaw. Oh, you got it back. Well, I'm gonna do it again. There. Did I win?
Nice.
What'd I do? Is something supposed to happen now? Do I ram it? Do I ram it? I'm gonna ram it.
Yeah, that's it.
What? No more! Echo died saving his family. A true dolphin hero. Get this shit out of my Genesis.
Get that shit out of there. Yeah, this game is bizarre. Echo the tides of what?
Mega hits. You cheapskate. Should've known this was fucking coming.
Oh boy. Oh boy, here we go. Another one. What's
Cool
this?
kids know it's not right
Cool
to
kids
fight.
know
Keep
it's not
your
right to
wits.
fight.
Choose
Your
a
wits.
split.
Choose a
If
split.
only I could, Knuckles. No one wins with violence. For more information, please contact
bullshit.
to prevent child abuse. What
What?
the fuck?
Okay, I don't know
Child
what I'm
abuse.
getting myself into
Sonic.
here. When the first game ends up terrifying you, you tend not to follow up on the sequel or anything else afterwards, except Defender of the Future, which was given to me as a birthday present when I first got my Dreamcast way back when. Bless my mom. She meant well, but she had no idea.
Yeah, your parents don't know how much they're gonna traumatize you while
once
buying you
again
these
minding his
terrible
own
video
business, and then
games.
his asteroid powers are suddenly taken away. Why don't we just frame him for murder while we're at it? Jesus
Fuck
Christ.
it, why not?
Echo soon meets a distant relative from the future who wants to take our hero to meet the asteroid once again to explain the current situation. I'm playing a game with time-traveling psychic dolphins. Even as a Sonic fan, I find this fucking weird.
no need
The future
for an
asteroid tells us that when
explanation.
Echo time-traveled in the last game to save his family, he inadvertently
this game
split the
needs to make
timeline in
sense.
two, one where dolphins rule the oceans as you can see, and one where the Vortex Queen traveled back to the past to kill the asteroid and thus created a bad future. Echo must now travel back in time once again to fix the asteroid, regain his powers, and stop the Vortex Queen from causing further despair.
Hercules
Time
or
travel, folks,
anything
let's
like
move
that.
on. Now, I feel it must be said, Tides of Time is not a bad looking game for the Genesis. The first thing I noticed was how Echo popped out with his higher detailed sprites, and there's a lot of cool graphical effects with backgrounds, layer scrolling, and animation. Not to say the first game was subpar in looks, it was fine, if a little flat, but this is detail I can admire. The soundtrack's great too. It's not as atmospheric as before, it's more energetic, emphasizing the video game nature of Echo, rather than the dark and deep recesses of the ocean. Most importantly of all, the game isn't bad. Echo doesn't
Tides
feel
of
any different in
Time.
controls. I'm still a bit miffed at that, but Tides of Time does not ambush me with hordes of aquatic sea creatures at every corner. The level design is often short and to the point with what it wants to do. The map does a better job
It
at
could
laying
be
out
worse.
things, including the type of enemy
Could
that
be a
lies
dolphin
ahead,
flying
so I
for
can prepare a better
rings.
approach. There's this new item called the Pulsar, giving Echo this awesome multi-directional sonar blast
swimming
that kills
for
everything in
rings.
sight. Alright, this is more like it. Everything's not as difficult as before, and should you feel Tides of Time is still too much for you, you can select your difficulty at the beginning of the adventure. I've read that the reason the first Ecco the Dolphin was made as hard as it was because the development team didn't want kids to beat the game over a weekend, and nothing against Nova Trade, I know they're probably not even a thing anymore, but that's a really fucking dumb reason to make a game last long. Why
Yeah,
not just worry
don't-
about
don't
making
make
the
it more
game
difficult.
fun? Something
Yeah.
that people can easily
Fun
access
and
and look forward to
enjoyable.
replaying.
Repeat
When I feel a game's too
playability.
hard, when it's
Don't
not a
just
selling
make it
point, you
hard,
know what I
just to
do?
make it
I
last
stop
longer.
playing, I tell people to avoid it, and then I go play something else.
Yeah.
With Tides of Time, that doesn't really apply, thankfully. I can only recollect a few moments where I cried foul, like here. When you're on your way to meet the future asteroid, Echo has to travel through the sky tides, an auto-scroller, which isn't as ludicrous as the machine level in Echo 1, and it's not nearly as long. The next level after, the tubes of Medusa, require that Echo travels to the top while avoiding Medusas, these humongous jellyfish that don't hurt Echo, but they can grab him with their tentacles and throw him off the path. Should Echo fall off, he doesn't
Damn.
restart the stage, he's sent back 2 stages before. To the
Oh,
level before the Sky
no.
Tides. Hold the fucking phone. If I messed up in the Sky Tides, I restarted in the Sky Tides. So why does that game logic suddenly not exist in the tubes of Medusa? That sort of inconsistency is what makes me steam. The whole sequence involving the rebuilding of the asteroid got a bit boring after a while. There's so many big blue balls to find and bring back and starts to wear on you. The 1 or 2 times where you transform into a different animal were interesting, but ultimately pointless.
video
But there
game
was
balls.
something funny about seeing Echo the bird getting thwacked with a rock or an oncoming predator and falling back down like a rag doll. Sure, it has its moments, but that's all they are. Moments. Tides of Time is okay. I'll gladly play this over the first game anyway, so thanks
it's
for the
alright.
donation, you fucking muppet.
All right.
not as
All right, I know
traumatizing
what's
as the
coming up
first
next.
one.
I still own the game, so there's nothing.
Oh, ouch, right in the crotch.
Echo Junior?
Echo Jr.? What?
Echo Junior? What? Come on, what is this
Come
shit? An Echo
on.
game for kids? Sega Club, was that like Club Nintendo? I should really get to spending those coins soon. I mean, it's a young Echo the Dolphin along with his friends, and the game is a giant scavenger hunt. You look for the
just go
required
with it.
items, you bring them back to whoever's looking for them, and that's how you move on to the next stage. Sometimes you play tag with one of your friends, and sometimes you bring a ball back to a seal. Nothing can kill you, I would hope not, considering the demographic, but wouldn't that be some shit if the Vortex Queen suddenly came down and wreaked havoc on this innocent game? That'd be something. This is harmless stuff, though. What I want to know is how many kids played this, liked what
Nope.
they played, and then went straight to Echo 1 afterwards. I can hear the screams of anguish from here.
Yeah,
That's
that
if
would
the
be
music didn't
pretty
already creep 'em out.
traumatizing. That'd be pretty fucking demonic.
This music was made for a kid's game. Alright, come on. Now we're just wasting time. I haven't played Defender of the Future in years, and I don't remember
Dreamcast.
anything about it.
Oh boy, and I think I'm slowly starting
Hey,
to
it looks
remember why.
pretty
Defender of the Future
alright.
is boring.
Is it boring?
Like, it's
It
so
looks-
boring, I can't even muster any sort of anger to complain
a
about
bit
the
like
sensitive
Jaws.
control, how awkward it is to attack on a 3D plane with no lock-on feature, the
Oh,
herky
no
jerk
lock-on
camera, and how
feature.
set
Yeah,
pieces
that
are sort of
sucks.
non-existent here to help distinguish one murky area from
Can't
the
you eat
next.
fish?
When they're
Or-
not throwing
well,
you
he's
in the
a
fucking
dolphin,
dark.
so-
I can't see shit here. It's so unclear on mission objectives,
shark.
and that hits you as soon as the
It's not
second
Jaws.
damn stage. The hints given from the glyphs and other creatures are overly eloquent to the point of absurdity, and because it's difficult to tell where you're located, you often need to rely on the map, which could have easily taken a spot on the lower right portion of the
Yeah,
screen.
the game looks a little bit
Instead, they
bland.
have the whole thing materialize smack dab in the middle of your TV, obscuring your vision and making dark sequences a visual
No,
pain in
don't
the
do that
ass.
shit.
It got so bleak to the point where I used the level select code just to see if things improved, and
Just like
no,
the Turok.
things do not. It's not a matter
Just
of
like
finding
the
keys
Turok
or
menu.
doors. It's just
Just
a
like
bunch of
a-
finding things for other things. Kind of like Echo Jr., but stretched
Nintendo
out.
64
Linearity
quality.
is only limited to a few levels, and the broad approach makes a ton of stages feel like they go on forever. I couldn't even find joy in the hidden soccer level. I'd
What
rather
the
play
fuck?
Blitzball.
What the
The
fuck
best
is this,
part that I've
Ro-
experienced,
Rocket League?
ironically, was the hidden level
Dolphin
that was a
League?
throwback to classic Echo the Dolphin. Ain't that some shit? The game is a reboot of the series, but it's still about dolphins versus aliens. Just replace the vortex
Dolphin
with the
versus
foe, wonderful name
aliens.
there. And instead of the asteroid, there's the Guardian. It's all the same to me, but instead of anger, there's indifference. This feels like a movie about a dolphin and his time-traveling adventures that was forced to become a video game. The stuff you do in-game is nothing compared to what happens during cutscenes, and I feel the themes are overplayed. The ocean is big, blue, and beautiful, dolphins are cool, the aliens are dicks, I understand. But all this in-between stuff, you know, the actual game, I'm dozing off just thinking about it. And you guys know how I feel about boring games, and they're so hard to explain too. Defender of the Future would be the last
They're
Echo the
time
Dolphin game to
wasters,
be
yeah.
made, and an attempt at making a spiritual successor by the series' original creator failed to get the proper funding on Kickstarter. It's clear the guy wants to continue on with what he has, and if it's anything like Tides of Time, then I don't know, maybe I'll consider it, but
Who knows?
look,
Give it a try.
I'm aware of Echo's cult status. There is an audience for this, but Tides of
Is
Time
that?
is the only one of the whole bunch
Oh,
I
God.
can recommend, and even then, that's a cautious recommend, because it's not your typical sort of game no matter the title. Maybe that's what gives it unique qualities to some. To me, though, it has too many cracks in the seams, and I don't feel like talking about it anymore.
I don't think it's
There
a
is not
bad
game I'm
game.
not willing to
I think
play
it's
for the sake of letting you guys know what I think
a
about
weird,
it,
bizarre
and whether or
game.
not you should consider getting it yourself. Does Echo the Dolphin really matter at this point in time? No, probably not. But
no,
should
no.
you feel the need to try it, it's on a lot of other collections and online services. You kids got it lucky with save states and all that. I had to play this game raw. But I'll put up with it, as long as it means entertaining and informing you all. I love you guys. And recently I broke 150,000 subscribers thanks to you all. That's
congratulations.
amazing. It really is. I'm grateful and eternally thankful for it.
Dear Johnny, it's now clear to me that breaking you is a futile effort.
Yep, that's a good way to do it. And burn the letter. Yeah, that's better. Never let those people make you play terrible games again. What the hell's in there? Donut? What is in there? Bubsy!
I'm
Oh,
going to need some time
God.
for this one, folks, so I'm going to take a small break, and when I return, it's time for Bubsy. With all that said, thank you
fucking hell.
guys for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic night, and take care.
Oh boy. Can we do a reaction to Bubsy? I believe we did. Just one Bubsy game. Can't it just be one Bubsy game? Yeah. Oh, boy, why are there so many fucking Bubsy games? Yeah, that was Johnny versus Echo, or Uku the Dolphin, whatever the hell you pronounce that. I don't think it's a bad game. I wouldn't roast it, say, or it's terrible, it's horrible, it's the worst game ever. It looked pretty alright. It just looked a bit creepy as the best way to explain it. The game was a bit creepy. I mean, dolphins traveling through time and all that crap. You know, killing bosses like something out of Alien. Yeah, it is very bizarre. Yeah, I'll give it a try just out of a weird sort of curiosity, an experiment gone wrong, so to speak. Yeah, I guess it would be a decent game to play in a very strange way. But if I had this game as a kid, if I played this as a kid, it would be a bit traumatizing, you know, it would scare the shit out of you with the spooky music and, I don't know, the floating fish and everything like that. Yeah. If you like this video, make sure to give a like, comment down below, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.